Hello and Happy New Year. 2021 is definitely going to be a better year. Let's just start on a really positive note. The vaccine should be with us shortly and we will be back to classes. But in the meantime, let's get rid of maybe some of that stiffness that perhaps has crept in over the Christmas period and get some stretching and movement, flexibility and mobility going. So if you just want to gently roll down onto your back, please. Maybe start off with one leg extended, the other one bent, hold on behind the thigh, tilt the pelvis, and gently roll down onto your back. And then take a moment to set up, stretch the legs out. Just take them into sort of the corners of the mat, so a little bit wide. Immediately bracing the tummy, making sure you've got your back resting on your grape and the tray marbles across the pelvis. You're already zipped up and hollowed. Stretching fingertips towards the toes and starting with the palms down, flexing the feet, pushing the heels away from you. Get a bit of stretch through the backs of those legs to start with. Bring the chin down over the peak so you've got the length in the back of the neck. And keeping that tray of marbles absolutely still. Just take a breath in, and as you breathe out, turn the palms of the hands up, and breathing in, turn them down. So just opening the chest as you turn the palms up, and then turning the palms down as you breathe in. Starting to get some flexibility into your shoulders. And then adding into that, turning the toes out as you exhale, turn the palms up, turn the toes in as you turn the palms down. Keeping the feet flexed and just rotate out and then rotate in. Getting that flexibility into the hips. Then see if you can add the neck into that. So from here, just turn the head one way as the feet go out, the palms turn up. Bring the head back to center, and then as the toes turn out, turn the head the other way. So you're just coordinating those all together. Getting some flexibility into the neck, and a little bit of hips and shoulders, and opening the chest. Just gradually starting to warm up. And then when you have done equal numbers, in both directions, just come back to the start position and slide the feet in. Knees up, feet flat on the floor. Keep the chin down over the peach, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles in line, heels in line with the sit bones. And then this time, instead of turning the toes out, you turn out the knees. So just turn out the knees, turn the palms up, turn the head, and bring it back to center. So exactly the same thing, but just dropping the knees out, getting more flexibility into your hips now. Inner and outer thighs working a little bit, still opening the chest, and flexibility, of course, still for the neck. Turning the head as far as you can on that out breath. And then when you've again done equal numbers in both directions with that head turn, come back to the start position. Now this time bring the knees and the feet together, so immediately your inner thighs will engage. Still reaching for your toes, little grape in the small of your back, and just take that tray of marbles off and put it to one side while you pelvic tilt. Keeping the feet rooted into the floor, breathing in to tilt the pelvis, crush the grape, breathing out to release. So scooping out the tummy, pressing your back into the mat. Just bring the hip bones into the bottom of the rib cage. Tilt and release. Keep those knees squeezed together and those inner thighs will work. And then see if you can add a bridge onto that. So make sure you've got your heels directly underneath your knees. Not too close, because otherwise you open up your knee joint. So pretty much underneath the knees. And then breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick the hips up, link by link, bone by bone. Keep those knees together. Hold to breathe in at the top and breathing out, link by link, bone by bone. Crush the grape, tilt the pelvis back into neutral. Come back to your start position and start again. Breathing in to tilt, scoop out the tummy. Breathing out, peel off. Link by link, bone by bone. Push those knees forward to get a good stretch through your hips. Hold to breathe in, breathing out. Gently bring it back down. Link by link, bone by bone. Tilting the pelvis back into neutral, starting again. So breathing in to tilt, breathing out, pick up the hips. Now pick up your pelvic floor. Pull up between the legs. Balance on the shoulder blades, the shoulder soles of the feet. Hold at the top. And then gently, gently bring it back down. Try and keep those knees together because they will want to come apart, particularly at the top. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out, pick up the hips, pick up the pelvic floor, pull up between the legs as tightly as you can. Hold that for as long as you can while you go all the way up and all the way down. Maybe you've lost it by the time you get to the bottom, but that's okay. You just start again. So just breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick up. Link by link, try and feel each bone as it comes off the mat. Hold at the top, still pulling up that pelvic floor. And then link by link, each individual bone goes down, tilting the pelvis back into neutral. Then see if you can add an arm into this. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out, pick up hips, pick up pelvic floor, pick up right arm. Take it over the top of your head. Hold at the top to breathe in and breathing out, link by link, bone by bone. You come back down, the arm comes back. The next time you go with your left arm. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out, pick up hips, pick up pelvic floor, pick up arm, take it over the top. Hold to breathe in, breathing out, gently bring it back down, link by link, bone by bone. Now if you have a problem with this, what you could do is just tilt the pelvis and lift the arm over the top of your head. Hold to breathe in, breathing out, release back down. And pull up that pelvic floor at the same time. So if the bridge is no good, that's all you do. Otherwise, keep those heels directly underneath the knees because they will slide out a little bit. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick up, holding it up, reaching back, and then gently bringing it back down. Now, if you want to, you could add a little bit of something else onto that. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick up. Don't forget the pelvic floor. Reach the arm over. So your right arm over the top of your head. Keep those hips as still as you can and bend to your left side. Hold that there, keep the knees together. And then gently bring it back and bring it back down, link by link, bone by bone. So you're going to breathe in to tilt, breathing out to pick up, lift up that left arm, keep your hips still and reach down to your right side. Bring it back and then gently, gently down. Again, if that's too much, you could do just pelvic tilt, pick up the pelvic floor. You can still do the bend to the side with the hips on the floor. So you can decide which level you're going to go for here. So maybe just lifting up, reaching over, do that big bend, bring it back, and then gently, gently all the way down, tip the pelvis back into neutral. And again, when you've done equal numbers on both sides, just hug those knees into the chest. Have a little rock side to side and release your back. And then put the hands on tops of the knees and just push them around in a circle. First one way, then the other way, just to release your back. And coming back to start position, one foot down, the other foot. And if you just want to gently please roll over onto your right side. Take that right arm back a little bit. Put a nice straight line from the fingertips, back of the head, shoulder blades, buttocks and heels. Remember, if it's not comfortable, you can always get a big cushion or a little cushion and put it underneath your head, either between the head and the floor or between the arm and the head. And then rolling that top hip slightly forward, lengthening through the legs so the legs are stacked, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles aligned. And then just swing the feet forward, just into the front, just the kind of the corner of your mat. And then probably just leaving that top hand in front to start with. Start off with a lift and lower of that top leg. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. So you get a slight angle on the hip there. Then once you've got that going, you can challenge your balance with where you put that top hand, engaging the tummy, keep that top hip roll forward. So you can take the arm behind if you want to, maybe open the chest, help pull the shoulder down. Just lift lower, not too high. You don't want the knee to turn up towards the ceiling. Have the knee pointing forward, flexing or pointing the foot, whichever works better. Try and have your waist lifted a little bit off that hot stone. You can always put the hand on the hip if you want to, or even up towards the ceiling. Just turning that right palm up would make it more challenging, and you can take the top arm over the top of your head as well. Lift and lower, feeling that outside hip and thigh working. And then from there, maybe just hold that leg up and do a little pulse, putting that left hand wherever you need that to be. Trying to keep your torso as stable as you can and lifting the waist a little bit so you're engaged around the middle. Keep lengthening through that bottom leg so that bottom leg does not move, and make sure it doesn't bend at all. And then when you can feel that outside hip and thigh start to work, then hold that there. You might need to put your hand in front of you now, and then bring the leg down to a hip height, and then just bring the knee up into the chest and cycle, just nice and slow and with control. So you're taking the knee up into the chest, extending the leg out, taking the leg behind, of course, so that your buttock will work. So you're just cycling. Nice big circles, getting lots of flexibility into your hip, but still switching on those core muscles to keep you stable, your torso as stable as you can. And then maybe just see if you can make it go the other way, circling and cycling backwards. So nice and smooth, making sure you push that leg back as well as forward. Then that buttock will work. So you've got hips working to hold the leg up. You've got hamstrings, quadriceps working as well. Maybe flexing the foot just as if you were pedaling. Getting lots of flexibility into the hip and the knee, but you've really got to switch on those core muscles to keep you stable. And then maybe when you've done about equal numbers of circles in both directions, relax the leg back down. And then just bring that top knee onto the floor in front of you and give the outside of the hip a little rub and a smack if it's got that burn going on in there now. And then if you just want to gently, please roll over onto your front. Let the forehead rest down onto the mat if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, you can always just turn your head to the side, let your cheek rest. Take the arms out, crucifix position, bend the elbows at a 90-degree angle. Slide those shoulder blades down your back so the shoulders don't creep up around the ears. Maybe take the feet out into the corners of the mat, turn the toes in, heels out to relax the buttocks. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just lift the head and the shoulders off the floor. Keep your eyes focused on the floor, and then gently take it back down again. Keeping the elbows directly out from the shoulders. You've got that 90-degree angle at the elbows. So it's breathing out, just lift, and breathe in to go down. Exhale, lift, and inhale to lower. Keeping that peach underneath the chin, between the chin and the chest, add a head turn. Exhale up, inhale, turn, exhale, bring it back, and inhale down. Exhale up, inhale, turn, exhale back, and inhale down. So you're actually just stabilizing with the arms. Try not to push with the arms. Work your back, lifting head and shoulders with the back. Nice and smooth. And then if that is enough, you stay with that. Otherwise, what you could do is bring the hands underneath the forehead. Keep those shoulder blades sliding down so the shoulders don't creep up around the ears. And then you could do a lift, rotate elbow to floor, elbow to ceiling. Breathe it out, bring it back, and breathe in to go down. Exhale up, inhale, twist, exhale back, inhale down. Trying to keep everything below the waist absolutely still. If that's too much, just stay with the first option. So you're lifting up, you're doing a twist, you're looking underneath your armpit, bring it back and down. So trying to keep your buttocks as relaxed as you can, working into the back and the waist. Maybe you could lift, twist, center, and then immediately to the other side, hold it up for longer and go down. So supporting the head with the hands, but you decide if that's too much. Of course, you can just do one side go down and then the other side and go down. And you do as many repetitions as you can manage. Of course, you could just hold it up, twist, center, twist, center, and repeat as many times as you want to. At any point, you can go back to one of the earlier options. Then when you've done equal numbers both sides, gently bring it back. And then come up onto the hands and knees and give yourself a nice back stretch. Arch the back, drop the head, pull the tummy button up and in, and stretch from the back of your neck all the way down to your tail. Drop, drop, drop the head. Look back between the knees, between the thighs. And then just hold that there on the hands and knees if you are happy on your hands and knees. If you are not, please just go down onto your front. So now you're going to have a flat back. Make sure you've not got a dip in your back, or arching your back up, but just tuck the pelvis under slightly to give you a flat back. Hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Giving a cup of tea between your shoulder blades, cup of tea on the back of the pelvis to start with, and then from here, just lift the right leg, imprint sole of foot to ceiling, and gently bring the knee down. So you're just going to lift, imprint the sole of the foot, and gently down. Exhale to lift, keeping the foot flexed, nice and smooth. Just lift, working into the buttock now. Engage the tummy, squeeze the buttock. Low belly, of course, for the wrists as well, but trying to keep your torso as stable as you can by keeping those cups of tea still. Lifting up as high as you can. And then see if you can add on to that. See if you can lift, imprint. Now forget the cup of tea on the back of your pelvis and between your shoulder blades. And then just curl in. Nose to knee, knees to nose. And push up. Stay on the same leg and repeat. Nose to knee, knee to nose, curl in and push up. So you're just bringing the knee all the way in, bring the ribs to the hips to the ribs, squeezing in. And then just one more perhaps on that side, pull in and push up, and then gently bring it back down and start on the other side. So you're going to imprint first of all, keep the knee bent at that 90-degree angle, nose to knee, knee to nose, and push. So you really feel your buttock work, working a bit into that hip flexor as well. And of course, rectus abdominis down the front, your six-pack muscle to bring the ribs to the hips and the hips to the ribs. Just squeezing in. Now, I think I probably did about 5, no idea, but about that. When you've completed approximately equal numbers on both sides, come back to your start position. Now, if you don't like that, you can do lying on your front, and you can flex the foot and lift and lower. Lift and lower. And you would do equal numbers on both sides with that one. And then if you're okay on your hands and knees, you can add on to this. You go back to the first leg that you worked with, and you lift the knee, and then you bring the knee to the nose to the knee, And you bring the leg back and you extend and bend and bring it in and push it up and extend and bend. Bring it in, push it up and extend and bend. So that's all you do, adding onto that. Maybe one more on that side, and then swap to the other side. Now lying on your front, you would just do the same thing again, but you would flex the foot, lift, extend, bend and down. Lift, extend, bend and down. And again, doing equal numbers on both sides. You're still going on the other side. You'd be lifting, nose to knee, knees to nose. Lift, extend, bend and in. So again, you try and do equal numbers on both sides. Depends on how many you want to do. And then when you think you've done equal numbers, you will need to stretch. Sit back onto the heels, let the forehead rest down and stretch lower back and buttocks that you have worked. You might just want to take those arms behind you, lift the arms up and rotate the wrists because you've been doing lots of load bearing on those wrists too. Ease them out, but remember if that is not comfortable, you can sit on your bottom, swing your legs round in front if you reach over the beach ball for your toes and rotate those wrists. Just tuck the pelvis under to get the stretch in the lower back. Ease out those wrists. And then from there, if you just want to, the best way you know how, go onto your left side. Remember, you can use a cushion to put underneath your head if you need to. With the arm forward, or you could put the cushion between the head and the arm. And then keep a nice straight line. Shoulders, hips, knees and ankles are stacked. And then bring the feet forward to the front corner of your mat. Roll that top hip slightly forward. Have that cup of tea on the outside of the hip. Waist lifted a little bit of a gap between the waist and the floor. And then putting that top hand wherever you need it to be. Make sure the shoulder doesn't creep up around the ear. And then just lift and lower that top leg. Keep it exactly the same angle directly over the bottom leg. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. So not lifting too high, you don't want your hip to roll back, otherwise that cup of tea is coming off. And then once you've got it going, maybe challenge yourself with where you put that top arm. Again, just lifting and lowering. So the outside of the hip and thigh works, the core muscles are working to keep the pelvis absolutely stable. Try and keep the neck relaxed, the chest open. So you decide which position you want to go to with that top arm. Just turning that bottom palm up will immediately challenge your balance. So feel like outside hip and thigh start to work, and then maybe just hold it up and do that little pulse. Perhaps 5 little pulses on an in-breath, 5 little pulses on an out-breath, but try to keep your torso as stable as you can. Try not to bend that lower leg. Keep lengthening, keep actively lengthening that bottom leg because it will try to bend to help you to balance. Then when you can feel that outside hip and thigh, thinking it's probably nearly had enough, then just hold, bring the leg down, then probably put the hand in front of you, flex that top foot, and then go with the cycling. Knee up and push away, push the pedal back, and then pull it in to the chest. Make sure that top shoulder doesn't creep up around the ear. Maybe half a circle on an in-breath, half a circle on an out-breath. Nice and slow and controlled to get the hip working. It's still got to work those core muscles to keep you absolutely stable while you do that. Making sure again that you take the leg behind as well as in front. And then swap and make it go the other way. Circle it around. You've really got to switch on those core muscles to keep that torso as stable as you can. Don't forget to push that leg behind. Then you've got your hip flexor working, as well as your buttock, hamstrings, quadriceps, and of course the core. And then try and do as many circles backwards as you did forwards, and you know me, can't count. So when you feel you've done enough, just relax and bring that top knee forward in front of you. Give the outside of the hip a little rub and a smack, and get rid of the burn again. Just ease out that outside hip and thigh. And then if you want to gently, please roll over onto your back. Bring the chin down over the peach, stretch fingertips towards the toes, and then just cross your right ankle over your left knee. Hold that there. Take the arms out to the side, crucifix position with the palms turned down. And then just roll your legs over to the right side. Get a big stretch down the outside of the hip and thigh and around your middle, down the side of your body. And then if you turn your head and look along that left arm, hold that there. Get a really, really, really good stretch. And then heave the legs back up and change. Put the left foot over the right. And then ease the leg over to the left while you turn your head and look along that right arm. Just hold that there. Easing out the hip. Just let the weight of the leg pull the other leg over a little bit further. Get a really good stretch. And then relax and replace the foot to the floor. And then bringing the arms down by your side, stretch the legs out, take the arms over the top of your head, and then give yourself a full body stretch from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Lengthen and stretch. Breathe. And then from there, if you can, breathing in, nod your head, float the arms up over the top of your chest. Breathing out, peel off, up to sitting. Of course, if that's no good, just put your hands behind your lower back, bend from the waist, and with grace, elegance and control, push up. And then from here, just stretch the legs out, sitting up nice and tall, putting the hands onto the floor, just by your thighs. Don't move your hands, just start to walk your bottom back. Just slide your bottom back as far as you can, keeping the legs straight, and then you'll get a really good stretch in those hamstrings. Behind the knees, up into the thighs. Hold that there. Keep the chin down over the peach. Make sure the knees don't bend. Then if you can, see if you can walk those buttocks back a little bit further. Remember, you're not moving your hands at all. Lower back, buttocks, hamstrings stretching. Then if you turn your toes up, push the heels away, you get a really big stretch through your calves as well. Hold that there. And then sitting up, nice and tall. Just with the legs either straight or bent or crossed, but however is comfortable for you. And then put the right hand down, elbow bent, lift the left arm up, arm by the ear, ear by the arm, and just bend. Make sure you're not twisting at all. Make sure the shoulder doesn't creep up around the ear. Keep the elbow bent, shoulder down, buttocks down. Lift the rib cage out of the pelvis, and then take the arm in front of the face and push across, and you get more stretch around your middle. Slightly different stretch. And then release, swap to the other side. Reach up, bend the supporting elbow and stretch. Remember to keep the buttocks glued down. Hold, lift the rib cage away from the pelvis. Breathe full and wide. And then reach the arm in front of the face and just feel that stretch move. Just encouraging more flexibility around your middle. Keep the neck in line with the spine. And then just relax, sitting up tall, shoulders back and down. Right hand, palm down, underneath the buttocks, sit upon it. And drop your left ear into the shoulder. Hold and stretch there. Get some length in the side of the neck and over the shoulder. And then lengthen up, slide those shoulder blades down your back. Drop the chin all the way down into the chest. Shoulders down away from the ears. Get the length in the back of the neck. Use the weight of the head. Lengthen up again. Left hand, palm down, underneath buttocks, sit upon it. And drop your right ear. Still sitting up nice and tall. Keep that tummy button pulled up and in, lengthening through the spine. Stretch the neck and the shoulder. And then lengthening up again, slide those shoulder blades down. Keep the peach underneath the chin. Turn the head, look all the way over that right shoulder. Make sure you're not tilting the top of your head back. Turn the head and look over that left shoulder. And then gently drop the chin down into the chest, lifting the head, and release. Forward, up and round and back and down. Just get those shoulders moving. Nice big shoulder roll. And then there we are. First session, not too hard, I think, of 2021. So again, thank you very much for staying with me all the way through 2020. And here's to looking forward to 2021. See you next time. Oh no, you'll see me next time. Well done for sticking with it. And bye for now.